Reverse it. When you use this technique, you turn the objection inside out. You take the concern and offer it back to the person who stated it. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. Admit it. When you use this technique in your response, you are agreeable and admit that the person you are speaking with is correct. You also justify your position so that they understand the reason why. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. Minimize it. When you use this technique, you take the concern that has been expressed and make it smaller, diminish it, or erase it. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. Explain it. When you use this technique, you provide a legitimate justification and reassurance for the concern or objection that has been expressed. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. Trade-off. When you use this technique, you address the concern or objection by offering an explanation that offsets the concern with benefits that outweigh it. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. Deny it. When you use this technique, you disallow the concern or objection by addressing the invalidity of it head-on. It would sound something like this. Please read the text on the slide in order to get comfortable with the technique. To recap, the 6 methods for addressing objections in Step 4 were: reverse it, admit it, minimize it, explain it, trade off, deny it. Here is a helpful resource called the 3 F's technique, which is also known as the Feel, Felt, Found rule. I can understand how you feel, Mr. Customer. Others have felt the same way. However, what they have found, the technique is super effective. However, it is recommended that you shake it up a bit so that it doesn't come across as canned, trite, condescending, or phony. Here is an example of the same technique with a different selection of words. I fully appreciate your perspective, Mrs. Customer. As a matter of fact, I have had several other clients express very similar concerns. However, once we covered some important details, they were satisfied enough to move forward. The techniques outlined on the previous slides may also be used in combination with other tools or resources, or these resources might be used instead of the techniques listed. What other tools and resources can be leveraged to logically answer the prospect's objection satisfactorily? Testimonials, endorsements, third-party stories, examples of how other customers had the same or similar concern addressed and how they have benefited. Step 5. After providing an answer to the objection, it is important that you gain commitment or acceptance of your response. If you are addressing an objection while attempting to secure an appointment or early in the sales process, then your goal is to ensure that you may proceed or that you have provided adequate justification in order to advance the sale. However, if you have reached the later stages in the sales process and this one objection is all that is preventing a final agreement, then it is time to close the sale. Here are some examples from real estate sales. Assumptive. I'm looking forward to going to work for you in the marketing of your house. Minor point and order blank. Since the only other concern was having enough notice to arrange for the move, should we put on the listing agreement that you require a minimum of 45 days to close? Propose alternative choices. Would it be better for you to include the appliances as part of the offering price, or would you rather leave them open to negotiations? Ask opinion. In your opinion, is this the kind of service it will take to get your house sold in the time frame you've allowed yourself? Feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. Recently, one of my sellers felt the same way, but they found that it wasn't necessary for us to advertise their property in order to generate a large number of potential buyers. Tie-downs. Use after a statement of benefit to obtain agreement. Isn't it? Doesn't it? Wouldn't you? Etc. Or apply another closing technique.